Dell UltraSharp U3223QZ review. This webcam is suitable for laptop users in the past few years, mainly due to the limited size of the USB-C cable applicable to desktops. Interestingly, there was only one cable that had 4K compatibility. This wasn't the inaugural case where Dell webcam had challenges identifying a USB 3.2 connection on a desktop framework essential for 4K images. It is a disappointment that the majority of desktop computers do not come with webcams, loudspeakers, or microphones, whereas most laptops do. It is also impossible to use a webcam on a MacBook since its settings are mainly managed by an app for Windows, known as Peripheral Manager software, which is offered by Dell. The 4K webcam has a less image degrading zoom than the 1080p, and there is a physical shutter on the bezel. However, encountered some potentially large issues which could be fixed with a software or firmware update. The chief issue is auto exposure. It can take acceptably bright pictures in quite a dark environment, which is splendid, but it doesn't seem to focus on faces. That suggests it inadequately exposes in some conditions, such as over-illuminating you if the only lighting is in front of you and the rest of the area is muted or shadowy. This can even be a trouble if there's anything huge and obscure near the front, in my case, the dark curtain by my desk disturbed by the exposure. The speakers on these monitors give a bit more power than a typical 10 watt or less that you'll find, however, the echo cancelling mic had an overly digital and thin sound. The monitor goes through Dell's Smart HDR to ascertain when to use the Display HDR 400 certification, however, in actuality, 400 nits of maximum brightness do not add immense contrast. Though it is an appreciated trait, it would not be a sensible enough reason for purchasing this product. If you noticeably desire HDR, 600 nits is a more suitable base amount. My opinion on the image quality is good. Dell's top-end customer line, the UltraSharp, is factory calibrated with a range of built-in configurations. It offers sRGB and DCI P3 color ranges with numerous selectable white points. The P3 preset also adjusts the display radiance to about 51 nits and has a target gamma of 2.6, which lines up with the standard for common video production. The default standard preset is more adapted for screens, with a gamma goal of 2.2 and white 0.6, 500K. The monitor's precise enough for most chromatic but not crucial tasks. The white factor fluctuates in its luminance and it doesn't have an Adobe RGB profile. It has a sound P3 color wheel and a preset that caps sRGB within the limits of that wheel, which is important to properly show intensely rich hues since P3 exceeds considerably outside of it. The discrepancy reaches close to 1850 to 1 or better. Most IPS screens usually peak at 1100 to 1. If you function in decent lighting and pass your days in video calls on your computer, the U3223QZ likely has the ideal characteristics set for you. If all you're searching for is an exceptional monitor to dock with, its less costly companion, the U3223K, is still quite costly, but arguably easier to pay. As far as colors are concerned, we validate how white point accuracy changes with brightness. If disparities occur, it is based on 100% white at standard illumination. Discrepancies in CCCT take place when there are exceptions, habitually in the dark shadows or bright whites. We furthermore employ Blur Buster's motion examinations to assess motion irregularities or frequency-related concerns that may impact gaming.